Via virtual prepaid card in 15 days. Qualifying unlocked device credit service and timely redemption required. Card has no cash access and expires in 6 months. See T-Mobile.com.
Alexander here, and tell me if this sounds familiar. Over the weekend, you went into your closet trying on shorts from last year. They were all too tight. So you searched deeper into the closet looking through shorts you stashed away from thinner years, hoping to find a bigger pair, maybe lost in the mix. No luck. Well, I'm here to tell you, don't buy bigger shorts. Instead, do what I did and fit into the ones from last year in just a few weeks with Awaken 180 weight loss. Heck, you'll be wearing your thin shorts again in just a few weeks after that. How do I know? Because I'm still wearing my thin Paul Alexander shorts again this summer. I've kept my 35 pounds off thanks to Awaken 180's free maintenance support for life. Say it with me. I won't buy bigger shorts. Make that pledge, then call Awaken 180 and make the most out of this summer and every summer thereafter. Awaken 180, your long-term solution for weight loss. Call 844-346-1800. That's 844-346-1800. Or go online at awaken180weightloss.com.
From the P.J. Fitzpatrick Home Improvement Traffic Center, AAA Traffic powered by Bowser. What's up, Brandon?
Hey, Marty. The Parkway West inbound remains very congested going down Green Tree Hill as I take a look at the Cordell and Cordell traffic cameras. The backup point on the inbound side of the Parkway West begins right around Parkway Center Drive. The accident over by the runaway truck sand pile, however, has been cleared, which is some good news. The outbound side, pretty heavy, but moving pretty well going up and down Green Tree Hill. It gets backed up again going near the Washington interchange next to Rosslyn Farms. And on the Parkway East inbound, that is backed up by the Edgewood-Swissville exit. With AAA traffic, I'm Brandon Rossine, the voice of Pittsburgh, 100.1 FM and AM 1020 KDKA.
The KDKA AccuWeather forecast is brought to you by JP Roofing and Siding, Pittsburgh's #1 Platinum Preferred Roofing Replacement Contractor. Call 412-829-7711.
Plenty of sunshine and pleasant for the rest of our Friday with a high of 74. Then tonight, mainly clear, though 49. Partly sunny tomorrow and a bit warmer, high 81. For Sunday, mostly cloudy with a couple of showers, high 66 to 70. For AccuWeather, I'm meteorologist Joe Lundberg, 100.1 FM and AM 1020 KDKA.
It's the Big K Big Three.
Brought to you by New Flow Men's Health. The biggest 3 stories of the day on 100.1 FM and AM 1020 KDKA.
Trump. Come on, man. Woo! It's the only big story. We're going to get right into it. One of my close friends, one of the best lawyers in the country, is here. Phil DeLucente. What's up, Phil? How are you, man?
Good morning, Marty. Good morning, Patrick.
And one of the greatest judges that ever sat on the bench in Allegheny County, Judge Mariani. How are you, sir?
Doing well. Thanks for inviting me.
Appreciate having you. All right, before we get into any of the minutia, Judge, your take on what happened yesterday afternoon late.
Wow, I could take hours on that, I suppose. But the quick answer to that is that this case has really just begun. It's going to take a long time to get to a conclusion.
Phil?
Well, I was a little bit taken back. I thought there would be at least one juror that would hold out. I think I had said that earlier. And I think there's a lot of appealable issues, which we can get into later in the show. But I was taken back just from the fact that the judge also had made some instructions on how the jurors can vote pertaining to the 3 sets of charges. And you do wonder about unanimity and, unanimous a verdict. So it's troublesome on some levels.
What level, Phil?
Well, on the level that, when judges have a tremendous amount of power, they're clothed in immense power with that robe, and they can decide whether or not certain things can be acceptable during the trial. And one of them that I thought was a really huge issue that no one's talking about that often is the reliance defense. Every lawyer that's practiced criminal defense in federal or state, you have a case such as this, a white-collar case, there's a reliance defense potentially, whether it be with a CPA or a lawyer. Here in this instance, it was the lawyer, Michael Cohen, but for whatever reason, the judge would not permit that reliance defense And also the election expert that they wanted to have come in and testify as to how things are disseminated through the election process, and the judge just shot it down.
Judge, here's my thing. The overwhelming vibe I get from watching Trump and his people, his cult following, is poor Donald. He's a victim of New York politics. So what he's saying is all those jurors are idiots and the system is corrupt. That's what he's saying, right?
No.
What's he saying then?
Well, you can't bring the jurors into it because the jurors, as Phil mentioned, they're constricted by what the judge tells them. So the jurors may have followed the instructions to their understanding. I want to get back to what Phil said as an example of what I'm talking about, the reliance defense. Typically, a lawyer gives advice, the client's entitled to rely on it if the client has divulged sufficient information. In many instances, a client gets referred to a specialty lawyer. Somebody gets a grand jury subpoena. The business lawyer sends that client to Phil DeLacente. Phil DeLacente gives advice to that client. That client will go back to the business lawyer and say, here's what Phil told me to do. There could have been other lawyers involved in this case that Trump went to and said, look, Cohen's telling me this. What do you think? Hey, if Cohen says that, that's got to be the way it goes. He knows what he's doing. Could have been a response. And that could have been evidence on behalf of Trump that was never put in. I really have a problem with not allowing them to develop the reliance defense also, among other things. But the jury doesn't hear that evidence, so they
still
can't
found him guilty, Judge.
No, but they didn't hear that evidence, so they found him guilty based on what was given.
So you're making excuses for Donald?
No, sir. Not making excuses. I'm saying the jury could only decide the case based on what that judge told them.
So the judge is corrupt?
I didn't say it was corrupt.
So the judge is corrupt, Phil?
No, not at all. But the judge does the best to his capabilities. I think the arguments that Mr. Blanche made, he's a heck of a defense lawyer. You know, lawyers don't like to give compliments to other lawyers. They all think they're the best, and that's great because that's the attitude you have to have.
Sure.
But he is phenomenal. He made great arguments. He preserved that record so that it could be an appealable issue. And I could tell you something, that reliance defense, when you have the main witness, Mr. Cohen, and he said the things that he said, and Mr. Costello, who actually Cohen waived attorney-client privilege previously. He testifies to what Cohen had said. It is a little bit mind-boggling on how the judge ruled and what his theory of not permitting it.
But here's what bothers me, the poor Donald defense. I'm going to throw out some numbers, Judge. Rikers Island right now. You know how many inmates there are there?
I have no idea.
10,000. Okay? Not one of them gets this defense from a well-known judge and a well-known lawyer. You know how many cases that judge handled yesterday? Thousands. Not one calling him corrupt. Let me go deeper. The population of Rikers Island, 56% black, 33% Hispanic, 7.5% white, 95% Democrat. So what you're saying, what Donald's saying is, woe is me, I got screwed because I'm a Republican. The facts say that's not true.
So your causal connection is flawed, and here's why.
In your mind?
I'd like to know the statistics of how many times Mr. Bragg brought this type of case against a businessman in New York City that extrapolated a federal law, which the federal prosecutors decided to not go forward on. And yet he brought this, number one. Number two, what percentage of these cases did he actually bring? And it does make it a little bit mind-numbing that with all the crime in New York City, that this is the case that's at front. I'm just stating facts.
Municipal court every single day, Judge, and I could say that case sucks, throw it out. This case sucks, throw it out. And every case Phil has, throw them all out because he's the man. But at the end of the day, the guy's guilty. Is he not, sir?
None of what you brought up is relevant to the Trump case. None of it. I'm sorry to tell you.
Relevant to you, sir.
No, it's not relevant at all.
But what I get tired of is the poor Donald routine.
Well, I don't like the poor Donald routine either. I'm not a Trumper. I'm not an anti-Trumper. We're talking about the law here. Your comments seem to go to politics, not just legal, because it's your.
Well, that's what Trump's made it about. Do you listen to it all?
Oh no, he certainly made it about politics. But we're here to talk about legal, at least, and legal Very few cases involve going to a lawyer to act on your behalf and relying on the lawyer's actions. Very few. So those cases at Rikers, none of them, less than 1% would have that issue in them.
But Donald makes it about politics and Republicans. In fact, he said, well, we only had 6%. In other words, Republicans here. All the Democrats are sitting in jail in Rikers Island. So it doesn't matter.
So at one point, and his attorney just did a wonderful job. He went on CNN and Fox, and I watched both of them last night.
He's still guilty, though, right, this morning.
He made a great point that, look, this is not over. This is going to be appealable. And they said, well, why would you allow your client to say the things that he said afterwards that you're veering on politics? And he said, look, everyone has a First Amendment right, and this is what he believes. He's someone that believes that I'm not saying this, that it's my opinion, but he's saying the Justice Department, as well as other Democratic-endorsed candidates, have said that they're going after Donald Trump, and they're actually doing it. And so Blanche made a point to say, hey, that's his position, that's his right. I allow my clients to voice that.
All right, Judge, I got to get to the judge after the break, because between now and the time Donald is sentenced, there's certain things he's supposed to do, right? And the judge knows this. That's why he's smiling. Let's see what happens between now and July 11th and what will happen as a result. From the PJ Fitzpatrick Home Improvement Traffic Center, AAA Traffic powered by Bowser. What's up, Brandon?
What's up, Marty? The heaviest traffic right now is at the construction. The left lane is completely closed over by the Harmar exit, while there are 2 lanes open over there before eventually it turns into just 1 lane open, that being the right-hand lane. The Parkway East inbound is backed up to right around the bend at Edgewood Swissvale. And on the Parkway West inbound, you can expect delays beginning about halfway down Green Tree Hill, and the outbound side is congested from the 79 interchange. With AAA traffic, I'm Brandon Rothstein, the voice of Pittsburgh, 100.1 FM and AM 1020 KDKA.
All the news you need for your day and the sports, music, and podcasts you love are all on the free Odyssey app. Download now.
This portion of the show is sponsored by Awaken 180 Weight Loss. Visit them at awaken180weightloss.com.
Sorry, but we actually have a wait list for our Monstera.
Shaw's greenhouse is really bringing in the green.
We can't keep snake plants in stock.
She needs a construction manager to build on her roots and grow.
We could add a whole section for ferns. And here we'd have dahlias, dahlias, and more dahlias.
Indeed can help her hire great people fast.
I need Indeed.
Indeed you do. You can schedule and conduct virtual interviews all from your employer dashboard. Visit Indeed.com/credit and get $75 towards your first sponsored job. Terms and conditions apply.
eBay Motors is here for the ride. Go ahead, feel your engine. Admire that perfectly installed exhaust. Your vehicle's moving along this freeway like it was made from fresh installs and a whole lot of love. With eBay Motors, you get over 122 million parts to keep it running. And with eBay Guaranteed Fit, they'll be the perfect fit every time. Plus, at these prices, well, we're burning rubber, not cash. Keep your ride or die alive at ebaymotors.com. Eligible items only. Exclusions apply.
Diabetes, high blood pressure, anxiety meds, everyone's on them. If you're a 50-year-old male, maybe a bit porky, and you may even have type 2 diabetes, $1 million of term insurance may only cost you about $200 a month. Call Term Provider. Speak with Big Lou at 800-700-6898. Big Lou will find a term life policy for you even if you have type 2 diabetes, are overweight, or have high blood pressure. Term Provider has helped thousands of people like you who think they can't afford term life insurance. To buy $1 million of affordable term life for you, all you need to do is call Big Lou at 800-700-6898. Lou will make sure the scales are tipped in your favor. Call 800-700-6898. Big Lou will answer your call and work to fit you into a term life policy that you can afford. Remember, Big Lou's like you. He's on meds too. Call 800-700-6898. 800-700-6898 or biglou.com.
Building owners, my friends at NASCO Roofing, they're experts in replacing flat roofs for commercial, industrial, and residential buildings. With many flat roof material choices, you want NASCO's experienced pros on your roof. Benefit from their experience and their lifetime warranty on materials and labor. Call NASCO Roofing today for a free flat roof estimate. 412-373-2000, 412-373-2000. NASCO Roofing, spelled NASCO, the region's flat roof expert.
Is your IRS tax debt making you feel anxious? The professionals at Allies Tax Relief are ready to negotiate your fresh start. Call them now, 800-230-5174.
CBS Eye on Veterans, presented by University of Maryland Global Campus. Nothing makes a father prouder than when his son honors him by following in his footsteps. Vietnam veteran Alan Ho shares how his fallen son, Nainoa Ho, described his decision to join the Army.
You know, he grew up in a family whose dad was a sergeant in the medical corps, and he heard about, officers aren't worth a damn, et cetera, right? And this rocked my boat. He said, no, Dad, you served as an enlisted soldier. If I cannot succeed as an enlisted soldier, I have no business being an officer. And that just took my breath away, and I said, all right, you got it.
Some puzzles are hard to solve, others are hard to prove. Listen to Blood is Thicker, the Hargan family killings, wherever you get your podcasts. Access episodes early and ad-free with 48 Hours Plus on Apple Podcasts.
UPMC, life-saving, life-changing information. Amazing.
Pittsburgh's 100.1 FM and AM 1020. KDKA.
What's up? Talking Trump. Duh. I'm here with two of the best ever. Anthony Mariani, one of the best judges ever in this region, and Phil DiLucente, one of my boys and a super lawyer. Judge, you know where I'm going with this. So, between now and the time Donald gets sentenced, July 11th, if it's Marty Griffin, and Phil's my lawyer, Phil calls me and says, my man, you got to chill. He says, man, you got to be contrite. You got to get letters from the Pope, right? From nuns, right?
Yeah.
That you're a wonderful man. And then, when you're standing in front of the judge, Marty, you got to be cool. You got to say, Your Honor, I'm sorry. Give me a break. Trump, sir, with all due respect to him, is not capable of that, is he?
I don't think he is.
So, if he comes in front of you, and for the next 6 weeks, he pretty much lifts his leg and you know what's on the whole process, do you send him to jail? Do you sentence him, sir? Because a lot of what he says is inflammatory and defamatory and, quite frankly, volatile. He can't be contrite, sir. So what would you do as a judge?
Well, I started, my first answer to you was this case is a long way to go. It's just gotten started. It is, I would give you 100-to-1 odds that the sentencing will not occur July 11th.
Whoa. Why, sir? That's just great stuff.
Because it's going to be delayed. There are going to be motions filed to complicate the sentencing with issues that involve his running for president, his travel time, the impact on the election. Remember, he's a nominee of a substantial portion of this country.
Yes, sir.
All right? And so the Republican Party, representing all the people who voted for Donald Trump in the primary, has a very substantial public interest in the timing of this sentencing. That's just one issue, let alone whether there's expert witnesses who can't make it on that date, et cetera, et cetera. Phil DiLucente's postponed many a sentencing as a defense lawyer.
Right. No. Right, so you postpone it. Phil, is that the strategy?
That's exactly the strategy. And getting back to what I would typically do, he's in a different type of arena in the sense that, or postured in a different way, because he is the Republican nominee. He was the former president. He believes that this is a witch hunt, and I'm not suggesting it is, but he believes it. And so his lawyer may say, I don't want you to comment at all in court, because it could then challenge some of the appealable issues that we have going forward. So it doesn't mean you're not contrite the way you look, the way you walk in, the way you act in court, but as far as the verbal words that are spoken on the record.
And another thing, I've had defendants stand in front of me and say, Judge, I can't say I'm sorry because I didn't do this. At sentencing, their lawyers look at me like, oh, no, but what if you believe as a defendant you've been wrongfully convicted? You can't stand there and say I'm guilty if you want to maintain your own self-respect. A judge has to respect that if it's done reasonably.
Judge, you've got Trump in front of you, and he is in contempt. But you know that he can't be sent to jail. Is that fair? He cannot, under any circumstance, be sent to jail, sir.
Well, I think the overwhelming position would be, yes, find an alternative to an actual jail cell. But if he pushed it too hard, we might have to make an exception for that.
Yeah, but I talked to, because I've heard this from Secret Service guys. At the end of the day, they tell me that they make the decision, that they'll say, we'll put him in this room and we'll protect him, but he ain't going to be in no jail.
Well, there's some supremacy clause discussion coming out of that.
Nice.
All right, and that's an important issue. But look, during the trial, you could have put Trump on house arrest with no outside access at all as a sanction for his contempt. It was a short duration. It wouldn't have it would have hampered him maybe for his presidential issues, but it wouldn't have caused a problem such that you're taking a candidate out of the race. You're only temporarily stopping him from violating court orders during a trial. Now, this is a little different. Sentencing is pending. It's a substantially longer period of time. He is running for president. He's contended all along. This has issue that this trial itself was brought in as part of the presidential campaign, et cetera. It'd be a much harder thing to do.
Okay, this from a judge that you both know very well. I love this. Have you ever had a trial where the defendant didn't know the crime until the state's closing argument? Phil?
No.
And that's what happened here. That's the argument from this judge.
No, I never have. And I can also tell you I've never had a judge that their family members were profiting off of, situations involving the presidential election for the other campaign, and or when you raise the issue that you think a judge should recuse themselves, that they didn't. So this is, when you talk about Donald Trump, he really is an enigma because he always seems to find himself in these first-time situations.
Yeah, he's a victim, Phil.
No, he's
it's
not.
The poor Donald crap.
Not a victim at all. What I'm saying though is he is going to make a lot of case law. I mean,
yes,
he has made case law.
Fair,
in the past.
Yes, he is.
Yeah.
That's
same question to you, Judge, that I just posed to Phil.
I don't agree with that judge's statement.
Okay.
I don't agree with it. That's a little too broad in my view.
Was this trial a farce from another judge? This trial was a farce, Judge?
Again, farce is a harsh term, but as I understand the case, I'm surprised that a judge let it go the distance it did.
There are a lot of unique circumstances that I don't believe any even seasoned practitioner like the former U.S. attorney, former judge sitting to my right, or myself have ever seen in any case in the history of America. So to say that it's a farce, I don't agree with that. But it is very unique, and it does make people wonder. And that's my problem with this. I'm not a Trumpster either, but I have to tell you, this was not good for America on so many levels, regardless if he was found guilty or not guilty. And we've talked about that at length. Why I feel that way.
Let me say this about me, and I'm going to be honest with you. And we're going to get into more of this after the break. At the end of the day, here's what Americans care about today: how much their food costs. They can't afford a house, right? A tank of gas. I can't go on vacation. They don't give a damn about this minutia. And I'll tell you what, in my house yesterday, my daughter was going to the prom, and her spray tan washed off, and she had a meltdown, and we had to reconstruct her dress. I'm telling you both, and I love you, I don't give a crap about Donald Trump at that time. And I also don't believe, guy sends me, we're about to go to civil war. Grow up. Not one demonstration of violence last night. Not one. America's America. Friday goes to Saturday. However, this is a massive, massive issue in this presidential campaign. Is it not, gentlemen?
Well, that's political, and you're right. But we looking at the legal side. What is now being argued, and somewhat effectively, is we're using the justice system to affect politics.
It's amazing. It's amazing. And it's historic, and it's fascinating. We'll be right back with the fellas.
Getting quality employees to fill positions in your company is essential. But finding those people can be a major hassle, unless you use ZipRecruiter. ZipRecruiter makes finding quality people a breeze. And right now you can try it for free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. With ZipRecruiter, one click sends your job to hundreds of top job sites. But more than that, ZipRecruiter's advanced technology identifies the candidates with the skills you need, sends you a list of great matches to review, then actively invites them to apply for your job. And the results speak for themselves. 4 out of 5 employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. That's right, the first day. Now you can focus on your business and let ZipRecruiter do the work finding the best people for you. See for yourself. Experience the ease, efficiency, and power of ZipRecruiter for free. Just go to ZipRecruiter.com/free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free. ZipRecruiter.com/free.
It's not too late for a deep spring cleaning on your home. Give my friends at Zero Res a call, 412-701-1188. Schedule today and get 3 rooms of carpet clean for only $129. Take $100 off your air duct cleaning as well. Make sure to mention Chris Mack, ZeroResPGH.com.
From the Aetna Medicare Solutions Studios.
Proud to be the voice of Pittsburgh. 100.1 FM and AM 1020. KDKA.
It's 64 degrees and sunny at Pittsburgh International at 10:30. I'm Susie Cole. The Shapiro administration showcases a new solar farm by 412's Renewables, and News Radio KDKA
of the Department of Environmental Protection, Jessica Shirley, touted the potential economic and environmental benefits of building solar facilities on abandoned mine lands in Pennsylvania.
Clean energy, like what is produced by the solar panels behind me, can also be cheaper than other sources.
Lieutenant Governor Austin Davis says there are nearly 169,000 acres of abandoned mine lands across the state that could potentially host similar solar facilities.
If we used just 5% of those acres for solar facilities, we would have 9,000 acres on previously mined sites generating 1,500 megawatts of clean energy.
The new solar site will partner with the Dollar Energy Fund to ensure proceeds from the site go towards helping to lower utility bills in low-income communities. Tamira Rush, News Radio, KDKA.
The 65th annual Dollar Bank Three Rivers Arts Festival is now underway. It's being held in the Cultural District this year, with a significant portion taking place on the Rachel Carson Bridge, which festival Director Sarah Aziz says makes it super easy to navigate.
Super easy to navigate in terms of walking, or if you have any folks with mobility issues, it's really great. One of the perks of being in the cultural district is, everything being paved and having curb cuts.
Sarah was a guest on the Big King Morning Show. The festival is being held through Sunday, June 9th. And Kennywood's classic Thunderbolt roller coaster is celebrating its 100th season this summer. Today, the Thunderbolt has a max speed of 55 miles per hour and an impressive 90-foot drop. It was named the King of Coasters by the New York Times back in 1974. And on to Wall Street, where the Dow is up 45 points at 38,156. The NASDAQ is down 147, and the S&P is down 18. Our next update at 11. I'm Susie Cole on the Voice of Pittsburgh News Radio, KDKA.
Don't delay in getting that plumbing repair done. Call Palucci Plumbing today for all of your plumbing needs. From trenchless sewer repair and waterline repairs and replacement, hot water tanks, sewer camera inspections, to Pittsburgh potty repairs, no job is too small for Palucci Plumbing. Owners Amy and Nick Palucci have been in business for over 20 years, so give them a call for your next plumbing repair or replacement. Palucci Plumbing, 412-782-5050. That's 412-782-5050.
At Spitzer Acura, we've got a huge selection of vehicles, state-of-the-art showrooms, and yes, we've even got Panda. But the most important thing is you. That's why everything here revolves around you. Like the Spitzer Shield that offers added protection at no additional cost, including a nationwide lifetime powertrain warranty, and we've got incredible deals on new 2024 Integras.
Wag more. Spend less at Spitzer Acura McMurray.
Our world revolves around you. Visit SpitzerAcura.com for details.
You know Oakmont Bakery is my joint, right? So, summer months, celebrations, right? You got graduation cakes, cookie trays, sandwich platters, cheeseburger, donuts, delicious, cheeseburger-shaped cakes, flag-shaped cupcakes, the American tort, all the same. All I'm telling you folks is this is my joint. Everything there is handmade, homemade, fresh, and absolutely amazing at Oakmont Bakery. It's delicious. Check it out.
Reason
number 52 to choose Diamonds Direct over any other jeweler. Only Diamonds Direct gives you a 110% diamond upgrade guarantee. Let us explain. If you buy a diamond at Diamonds Direct today and decide in the future you want to upgrade to a larger diamond, Diamonds Direct will give you 110% of your original purchase price toward the new stone. For example, let's say you bought her a $5,000 diamond last year, but now she wants to upgrade to a $6,000 diamond. Diamonds Direct will give you $5,500 toward the new one. That's 10% more than you paid the first time. Guaranteed appreciation. Whether that first diamond was $3,000 or $30,000, you get 10% more. Who else does this? And unlike other stores who claim to offer diamond upgrades, at Diamonds Direct, there's no fine print and no minimum purchase requirement. It's 10% more, period. Come and discover real value and buy with confidence. Diamonds Direct. Your love, our passion. Proud partner of the University of Pittsburgh Panthers.
Paid for by government.com.
Have you heard? A recent stash of 1881 Morgan silver dollar coins has been found. These gorgeous 1881S silver dollar coins are as bright and shiny as the day they were struck. Only a limited quantity of these Morgan silver dollar coins are available. Coin experts are calling this an amazing opportunity for anyone interested in silver coins. Just call government at 1-800-386-7195 and you are guaranteed a mint condition 1881S Morgan silver dollar featuring the iconic S mint mark of the San Francisco Mint. But with limited quantity, you must call now. These 1881S silver coins are still in uncirculated condition. That is 140 years of history you can hold in your hand. To learn more, call 1-800-386-7195. Call now and you'll receive a free American Coin Collector's Bonus Package, a $25 value free with every order. Call 1-800-386-7195 now to secure your 1881S Morgan silver dollars before they sell out. That's 1-800-386-7195.
PJ Fitzpatrick, Home Improvement Traffic Center, AAA Traffic, powered by Bowser. Brandon, what's up out there, brother?
Hey, Marty. The Parkway West outbound is very busy right now due to some road work that's being done with the delay points starting right under the I-79 interchange, and that'll break up once you get under Route 60 in Robinson, so pretty heavy delays there. Inbound side is also pretty heavy and slow from the top of Green Tree Hill onto the Fort Pitt Tunnel. On Route 28 north, some more construction taking place. That's between Harmer and the Cheswick-Springdale exit. It's down to 2 lanes by the Harmer exit and then eventually turning into 1 lane as you get through to Cheswick-Springdale. With AAA Traffic, I'm Brandon Ross. I'm the voice of Pittsburgh, 100.1 FM and AM 1020 KDKA.
The KDKA AccuWeather forecast is brought to you by JP Roofing and Siding, Pittsburgh's #1 Platinum Preferred Roofing Replacement Contractor. Call 412-829-7711.
Plenty of sunshine the rest of today with a high of 74, then clear tonight down to 49. Tomorrow, a mix of sun and clouds and becoming warmer, high 81. Sunday, mostly cloudy and cooler. Some showers in the area, high 66 to 70. For AccuWeather, I'm meteorologist Joe Lundberg, 100.1 FM and AM 1020 KDKA.
The KDKA radio text line is driven by Kenny Ross Auto Group. Find your best deal and Pittsburgh's best warranty at kennyross.com.
All right, today on the show, the Trump verdict, it's in, and the continued fallout. We talk about all of that. 2 to 6 every day right here at KDK.
Trump's our sideshow, man. He's our distraction. He's our hero, our GOAT. We loathe him or we love him. But in my world and in your world, we leave him every day. And we focus on groceries, car payments, prom night, college loans. Is that fair, Judge? Is that fair to say it's rhetoric, we spend time on it, but America moves forward? This crap about we're going to have a civil war. Come on, Judge.
Well, again, you're going politics, you're going sociology.
Right.
On the legal side, I think that this case could have greater impact on the mentality, ethos of the country than most because of who it is.
I agree. Judge Anthony Mariani. So, hypothetically, theoretically, Judge, this sentencing is supposed to happen July 11th. You say no way.
Not going to happen.
And hypothetically, theoretically, if you're the judge, and I am, I'm saying, man, we got an election coming up in November. let's wait till after that. Is that fair?
Well, but even before that, there are post-trial motions challenging the judge's rulings. There might be order to brief those. All those things impact the sentencing date. And then you have the issues of the election, of how close it is to the Republican National Convention and things like that. I think all that's going to impact sentencing date.
As a lawyer, Phil, because I've seen you play games and delay trials for 25 years. The client's dead. The judges are dead. The justice system shut down. Isn't that the tactic? Delay, delay, delay?
Well, there's an old saying that time is a defense lawyer's best friend,
right?
And memories fade, and yes, I mean you always want to, but I have rarely on occasion had clients that said, "Look, I want to put this in my past as soon as possible. I want the sentencing to happen on day X, and I want to self-report on day Y." And in those cases, you do it, but what's interesting and fascinating about this case, and I agree with the judge about the post-trial motions, you do have to wonder from his team, are they really going to want this postponed? Do they want the sentencing to occur? Is there, if there's an agreement to probation, if prosecution says, look, even though it's the judge's ultimate decision, but prosecution says, hey, look, we're not going to be arguing for any type of incarceration, home arrest, or otherwise. That's why the politics with the legal end and the strategic, demeanor.
But let me say this about you personally, without naming names. You had one of the most high-profile cases in America of a man who owned one of the biggest houses in America that you delayed for, is it 9 years? 8 years.
Well,
I'm not picking on you, but what I'm saying is they could delay all this madness. Could they not, Phil?
I think Blanche, this lawyer is such a great lawyer, and he has a great legal team. I think they can delay it to determine whether or not he becomes the president of the United States.
Right on.
But you do have to pose this question. Right now, the momentum is with Donald Trump. Joe Biden, who's been a heck of a president as well, I think all our presidents have been, he may win the election. Now, do you want to have this placed in the past? Or are you so confident that you're going? So there's a lot of strategy that goes into this. And that's where I was talking about Blanche earlier. He's a special lawyer because he gets the public media game. He gets the trial lawyering position. And he understands a tad about politics. So he's really a dynamic package.
Judge Anthony Mariani, as a judge, make your decision right now. What do you do with his sentencing hearing, July 11th? When do you move it to, sir?
If I have to move it, I move it after the election. After the election. Because if you move it, think about it. You're starting in July, August, September. You're getting so close to the election anyway. One interesting point that needs to be considered is this. Once the sentencing occurs, it now becomes a final judgment. Right now, it's not a final judgment. So the legal strategy of do you want to keep this thing alive and not have Trump sentence at all and elongate the process of post-trial motions, or do you want a final judgment? And if you're expecting the prosecutor to agree to probation, which in a case like this outside of a Trump defendant you'd get in many instances, the judge and the prosecutor are going to expect a somewhat humble, if not contrite defendant. That's not going to happen in this case. Yeah, it's not going to happen.
And hold on, Judge. And so he still has 2 federal cases and a state case. What do you do with them as a judge?
Well, the federal cases, I would be surprised if either one of them went before the election. Because it's
be shocking, right?
To me, it would be very shocking because it's a federal election for the president of the United States. So let the election go forward, right? And you're going to be the argument that you're using the justice system against the candidate would be huge if you try to schedule those ahead of the election.
Phil, if you're the lawyer, delay.
Absolutely.
Let's say he gets elected till even after that.
Absolutely.
And you could do that. Could you have done that in cases?
Well, what you would want to see happen is you have all these different legal teams, and you're filing appeals and you're filing motions. And ultimately, I posed this question on the phone with Judge Mariani last night. I said, state court cases can eventually be heard by the United States Supreme Court so long as there's a federal question of law. And I think Mr. Blanche, Donald Trump's a very good lawyer, he said, we got due process questions, we have Fifth Amendment, Sixth Amendment issues, recusal issues. So ultimately, I had asked Judge Mariani, because I didn't know the answer to this, our Pennsylvania Supreme Court, which is the oldest court in the land,
Okay.
can have King's bench power, meaning they can take any case at any time and pull it and rule on it, which is fascinating, really.
Hey, Judge, a couple things.
Can the Supreme Court do?
Because I'm hearing 9 opinions, and Patrick mentioned this too. He can't self-pardon himself, can he? Because I was told
he
no.
can't pardon himself in a state case.
He can't.
He
Okay.
can't. He cannot do that. He can in a federal case.
And can he? Now, here's some debate about, now that he's a convicted felon, if he's in Florida, it's debatable whether he's allowed to vote. But since he was originally in New York, he can vote if he's a convicted. Do you know this?
That's
Is that
great.
it?
I heard that just last night. And keep this in mind. If a governor of New York, while all these appeals are going on in the state court case, becomes a Republican, and he's the president of the United States, I would bet dollars to donuts, donuts to dollars, that guess what? He's going to get pardoned. So this is the fascinating part of having him as a defendant.
I'm intrigued to ask both of you this question. Would you represent him today if they called you, Phil? Would you do it today?
Oh, absolutely.
Even though you might not get paid.
No. I would definitely need to get paid because I have to
In
pay the light
advance?
bill.
I'm not trying to be a jerk here. But
No, but I mean, it's just look. Any of those cases are substantial. You'd have to be waived in. You need a retainer, and you need to agree on the relationship, the chemistry,
Yeah.
and you'd have to have a legal team. So it'd be very costly.
Judge, would you want this case?
No.
Why not, sir?
Well, I'm further along in my career than
Yeah.
Mr. DeLucente, and Trump is an uncontrollable client, and I wouldn't want to be fighting with my own client trying to represent him.
And plus, the real legit personal attacks, the real legit threats to your life.
Well,
just for being a judge.
I don't. I guess I'm not really worried about that so much, but you made me think of something else, and that is his disrespect, Trump's disrespect, blatant, unfair criticism of the justice
Right.
system generally, I couldn't abide by.
Right. It's fascinating. We'll be right back, folks. From the P.J. Fitzpatrick Home Improvement Traffic Center, AAA Traffic, powered by Bowser. Brandon, what's up, brother?
Hey, Marty. Route 28 North continues to have some construction backups between the Harmer and Cheswick-Springdale exits, with the road reduced to 2 lanes and then eventually turns into 1 lane. Parkway West inbound is jammed up from the top of Green Tree Hill until the Fort Pitt Tunnel. The outbound side is bumper to bumper from the I-79 interchange on. And on the Parkway East, some minimal delays, but lots of volume heading into the Squirrel Hill tunnels in both the inbound and outbound directions. With AAA traffic, I'm Brandon Rossi on the Voice of Pittsburgh, 100.1 FM and AM 1020, KDKA.
Did you know that now you can listen to all your favorite stations, including this one, shows, and even podcasts, all on the Odyssey app? Download it now.
Hey, folks, it's Marty. You've heard me talk about Brian Breisinger. He's my man at MediConnect. I'm serious about this. Now it's time for me to do this. Join me in a series of videos as I begin the process of signing up for Medicare. Questions asked, information shared. Ultimately, which Medicare plan is right for me, and always, as you know, there's no charge for MediConnect services. This is great. Visit MediConnectInsurance.com or call 888-818-6334. MediConnect. Great stuff.
Paid for by government.com. Have you heard? A recent stash of 1881 Morgan silver dollar coins has been found. These gorgeous 1881S silver dollar coins are as bright and shiny as the day they were struck. Only a limited quantity of these Morgan silver dollar coins are available. Coin experts are calling this an amazing opportunity for anyone interested in silver coins. Just call government at 1-800-473-0982 and you are guaranteed a mint condition 1881S Morgan silver dollar featuring the iconic S mint mark of the San Francisco Mint. But with limited quantity, you must call now. These 1881S silver coins are still in uncirculated condition. That is 140 years of history you can hold in your hand. To learn more, call 1-800-473-0982. Call now and you'll receive a free American Coin Collector's Bonus Package, a $25 value, free with every order. Call 1-800-473-0982 now to secure your 1881S Morgan silver dollars before they sell out. That's 1-800-473-0982.
You know your customers. Ralph likes his coffee black on Fridays, but Mondays he takes a little cream. Jennifer comes in every 3 years when her lease is up to get the newer and better model. And for some reason, pepperoni pizza sells like crazy on Friday nights. Who knew? you. At Odyssey, we have the expertise to get your media plan done right. With ads like you're hearing right now to targeted social media campaigns, search engine optimization, and location-based advertising. Advertise with Odyssey and help us grow your business. Visit ads.odyssey.com.
100.1 FM and AM 1020 KDKA. Covered by JP Roofing and Siding, Pittsburgh's #1 Platinum Preferred Roofing Company.
As Pride Month commences, how do we provide a safe space for conversations about mental health and suicide prevention in the LGBTQIA+ community? Join us this weekend for I'm Listening, Talk Away the Dark, a limited series with Odyssey and the American Foundation for Suicide Prevention. For the full show and more stories like this, download the I'm Listening, Talk Away the Dark podcast on the Odyssey app or visit imlistening.org.
Join us Saturday at 5:05 a.m. on 100.1 FM and AM 1020 KDKA.
It's Marty. We've talked about cancer. We've talked about how it throws off your balance. I'm at Physical in Monroeville. Phyzical, folks. Dr. Jess Nolan is amazing at the office in Monroeville. They put you in a harness. They teach you how to walk again. I feel stronger. I feel as if I'm getting my balance back. Physical in Monroeville. 412-457-8200. 412-457-8200.
Paul Alexander here. When replacing your windows and doors, you want quality and affordability, right? Well, Renewal by Andersen offers both. All their windows are made with their exclusive Fibrex composite material. They're durable, energy efficient, and low maintenance. And as one of the largest window companies in Pittsburgh, they can usually offer bigger discounts than smaller companies. Now, during their Memorial Day sales event, save 20% on all windows and doors and get $500 off your entire project when you buy 4 or more units. Affordable payment options are available. And May is Military Appreciation Month at Renewal by Andersen. All past and present military members will receive an added special discount. Offer ends May 31st. Call 412-448-9090, 412-448-9090. That's 412-448-9090. Visit renewalbyandersen.com for additional details.
Paid for by Wesley Financial Group. Are you a victim of the timeshare trap and think there's no way out? I'm Chuck McDowell, founder of Wesley Financial Group, the original timeshare cancellation expert. And I'm here to tell you that there is a way out. All you need to do is give my office a call. I will send you a timeshare exit information kit absolutely free, explaining how the timeshare industry works and your options for cancellation.
Call Wesley now for your free info kit. 800-902-5454. 800-902-5454.
With T-Mobile, you can get tons of benefits and still save, because nobody likes having to choose. It's like getting romance and sci-fi.
I love you. Also, I'm a robot.
At T-Mobile, you can get the benefits you want and still save on every plan versus AT&T and Verizon. See how with our savings calculator at T-Mobile.com/switch. Plus, switch and keep your phone. We'll pay it off up to $800.
Via virtual prepaid card in 15 days. Qualifying unlocked device credit service and timely redemption required. Card has no cash access and expires in 6 months. See T-Mobile.com.
Here's your Jill on Money question of the day.
Melissa from New York asks, my husband wants to buy a large amount of Bitcoin using his 401k savings. He's 68 and I'm a bit younger. We're both retired and have 6 figures in our portfolio. I'm against Bitcoin altogether. What do you think about Bitcoin and spending a large amount of savings on it? Well, Melissa, this does sound like it could get dangerous, so let's pay attention here. If your husband insists on buying Bitcoin, then he can do so, but he's got to limit it to 5% of your total assets.
Have a question? Go to JillOnMoney.com.
Sponsored by Progressive Insurance. At Progressive, we're making things even easier. We'll help you bundle your home and car insurance together so you can save on both. Learn more at progressive.com or 1-800-PROGRESSIVE.
The voice of Pittsburgh, 100.1 FM and AM 1020, KDKA.
The whole thing is actually fascinating to me, what's happened with Trump and what's happened with America. And I wanted to bring 2 of the gurus in here. One of the most highly regarded judges that ever served in this county, that's a fact, Anthony Mariani. And one of the best lawyers in the country, Phil DeLucente. so that you can kind of get their view rather than my opinion of what the hell's going on. The next hour, I'm going to let the phones speak for themselves. But for now, I find this to be fascinating because I think, Judge, you said something when we started. This bad boy's just getting started, right, sir?
Yes.
And it could go on for how long? Years, sir.
Well, sure. What if he gets elected?
Right.
We can't have a sentencing for the guy who just got elected president. There are some other things he has to do first. So it could go on a long time.
And you also said something important. If you start pushing the ball to try and make it front and center in the election, it raises the issue, are you trying to alter the election with these proceedings, right?
Yes, yes. When typically a case like this would allow for an extension of time if it was reasonably requested.
Phil DiLucente, you have done this for a while. If you have this many cases with this magnitude in your world, you're going to delay this for as many years as you can, right?
Without question, proper preparation gets you the result that you're hoping for, and that's a not guilty. And, these are such complex issues as well. But you do have to ask yourself, he's so controversial, right?
Yeah.
And you asked Judge Mariani and myself to come on.
Right.
There's some people that don't even want to discuss this because they're so concerned with Democrats not liking them after this, Republicans liking them. And, my position's always been, I forget about the politics. I'm not a D, not an R, just focus on the law. And that's what we try to do. And so some of these things, they blend into one another. And people's disdain for President Trump is so great that a lot of times the legal issues get convoluted and they go, oh, you like Trump or you're voting for... No, it's the legal issues we're trying to.
And as a lawyer with great experience, and I don't want to speak for you, correct me if I'm wrong, it's your belief that they brought this case for political reasons, not merit, sir. Is that fair? Is that fair?
The things that concern me is particularly the New York case. I can't... Right. The presidential records case or the records case, I do have my thoughts on that. The Georgia case is also, as we've seen, that's played out like a soap opera.
Horrible.
There's the timing. Anytime something happens to you in life, my daddy always taught me, think of the timing of it. And so the timing for this to happen, I always wondered, why didn't this happen a year ago, 2 years ago, 3 years ago? And, Josh Shapiro is our governor and Lieutenant Governor Davis, awesome, right? Politicians do the right thing. If they were challenged with this, would they have done the same things in the same manner as Trump? So he doesn't do himself any favors either. So we have this complete difficult situation of a defendant who's the Republican nominee, and he's so dynamic that everyone has such strong feelings one way or another. And I think that's what the judge was averring to earlier. We have to really just break it down from a legal perspective. But it does make 50% of the country wonder why now and why on these particular issues.
And Judge Mariani, it also raises the issue across America, and this is fair to say, that Americans now wonder whether the legal system is being used as a political tool, sir. Right? That's the danger here.
The prosecutor in New York ran on the idea that he was going to go after Donald Trump, among other things. This case, what is the harm that was caused in the case that he has prosecuted? How did it affect New York badly, et cetera, et cetera? It's questionable.
And so it raises that issue in every American's mind about every case and about justice in America.
Right. Justice in America, I think, has taken a hit because of this case and including Donald Trump's behavior in this case. It's taken a hit all the way around.
I agree.
Gentlemen, you're the best, and I respect and admire the hell out of you for being here. Appreciate you both.
Thank you, Marty.
Thank you, fellas. Appreciate it.
The countdown to November 5th is happening now.
Biden, Trump.
There's a lot to consider.
The 2024 election.
The border.
The economy.
Prices keep going up. Inflation for sure.
All you need to know is on
100.1 FM and AM 1020 KDKA.
The Village at St. Barnabas, the perfect place for mom.
Hi, this is Larry Richard with Dan Bitchoff, the PA Hypnosis and Anxiety Center. Anxiety, Dan, you know, is at an all-time high.
It's out of control right now, Larry. We have people calling in every day
KDKA to help with anxiety. And the thing that we have here at the PA Hypnosis and Anxiety Center is we're able to get to the part of the brain that actually causes the anxiety. Most everybody knows that people have problems, but they can't control the anxiety on their own. So the sessions that we do actually from the first session on gets that part of the brain to stop causing that fight or flight anxiety response, and that's how we're able to give the guarantee with our program.
And you've worked with high-level athletes, Olympic athletes. Where do we get started?
We do a free consultation, and we're going to do the same thing with the clients here that we do with the U.S. Olympic team to help them win gold medals. So when you call the office for the consultation, we can set that up. It's 724-934-8446.
The PA Hypnosis and Anxiety Center, 724-934-8446. Call now.
And paid for by AG Marketing Group. Attention timeshare owners. If you need to get rid of your timeshare for any reason, please listen to the following message. Getting out of a timeshare commitment is not easy, and it takes time. But we specialize in helping consumers legally get rid of their expensive timeshares forever. Can't get the vacation dates that work for you? Maybe you felt taken advantage of or forced into the timeshare.